I just want chocolate.
Adam and Dan, unrelated, Jackson's talking.
How you going, Daniel?
Hey, how are you?
That's a weird voice you just had then.
No.
You
Get
seem
out of
very
town.
very enthused right now.
Oh, I am.
You're like that's kind of how I talk to kids when I do my performing.
Is it? Are
Yeah,
you
but without the
condescending-
Australiana,
Condescending bitch.
big time, and that's what they dig. They dig being condescended because like the world's vast and open for them. So they're like, yeah, if somebody's gonna
Tell me how it is.
then you'll listen.
I'll listen.
Or
You'll get a smack.
no, or they'll downright defy you. But either way, it's kind of they need the condescension in order to kind of wind up for the no. That's not what's happening.
Right, they need, the thing to rain against.
Yeah.
Rain against, rain against.
Nobody will know that reference.
They don't, because they don't listen to our music.
That's
Yoshi
right.
Toro. Get onto it. Get onto it. It's okay, Mum and Dad. Adam has a working with children check. So,
Actually, I don't right now. It's it needs to be renewed, so it's technically out of date.
Shh.
So I can't commit any crimes against children in the next month or so. So between those, after that, that's fine.
Then
But-
you're good for another year or so.
Oh, 5 years, baby.
Oh,
Heaven.
really?
Heaven, as I like to call it.
So we're recording once again in the, what did we call
The
this?
ghetto. The ghetto.
The ghetto with our SM58.
That is the standard hip hop microphone of the time.
Of choice. It is.
Yes. Yes.
So, what's been happening, dude? And
What's been happening?
What's different in the world? Oh, I feel like I'm sitting on something.
Are you saying my lovely ghetto chair is uncomfortable,
No,
Daniel?
I just figured out my pockets were getting caught on the bits of where I can put my fingers.
I've got garden chairs in my room for my
vagina of the
visitors,
chair.
and they have slats for the rain to soak through. Well, that's what I'm assuming anyway. For the rain to not pool in a clump.
We know what garden chairs are.
Well, I don't know if
The
everyone
slats
does.
of the chair.
It's got lots of holes. Deary me.
Any hole is a goal, Joel.
I'm Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Hi,
What's,
Daniel.
What's cracking?
Actually, can I tell you something that I've put into practice lately, and it's becoming a theory, and it's becoming a philosophy.
Okay.
And-
Scientology number 2.
Yes, and it's from drunkenness, but this is where it comes from. But I feel better about it because I don't go out drinking as much as I used to. It's a very rare thing for me now. So
Happy birthday,
yes,
30-year-old.
yes. So I turned 30, and
Oh, there's something to
I
talk
made
about.
one resolution, which I've broken many times in the last 2 minutes. Actually, I resolved that I wasn't allowed to say any sexual innuendo for the next 30 years.
Are you freaking kidding
No,
me?
the reason is
This show is over. I'm done.
well, maybe there can be like a
Touching.
buffer zone for public broadcasting. It's just not in my private life.
Really?
Well, this is my thinking.
Okay. Because I just got to say, as a preface to this, a preface, if you will.
Yes?
That sexual innuendo is just like part of
It's a cornerstone.
Yeah, it is. It is a cornerstone to my life, to my humor. In inverted
No,
commas.
and I completely understand, and I love it, and I do it a lot. But my thinking is, I've turned 30. I look young for my age, which is nice.
Yeah.
But from the type of people, the young'uns that make the inappropriate jokes, it's all fine, right?
That's what she said.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
That's not an inappropriate. Yeah.
But come 30 years old, it turns into creepy man. So I've given myself 30 years of sobriety of sexual innuendo until I turn 60. And then it becomes,
Back into it.
look at that cute man making those sexual
I'll
remarks.
sit
That
on his
cute
lap.
old man talking about, all those things.
The first thing that pops up.
Exactly, yeah. There's something cute about an old man making sexual innuendos, and there's something acceptable about a young man. But in the middle, there's the grey area, and that's what I'm working on right now.
I think I would like to see you adjust this slightly, Adam, because
Yeah.
you're saying you're 30 now. in 30 years' time, when you're 60, you're going to get back into the
big time.
the dirty
I'll have it
bed.
built up.
My dad is almost 60. I don't want to hear any of that shit coming out of his mouth, and it's not cute.
No, but that's the thing. You've got to train yourself to be one of those. Like
To be old.
No. There's a certain type of old man, and he's a bit softly spoken, but like innocent. But like kind of, he can talk about sex,
Pedophilic.
and you're just like, oh, Grandpa, dearie me.
60 isn't that old, though.
You reckon?
If you're peddling for this softly spoken, like, sit in my lap and let's talk about...
not like to kids, but just like,
okay.
but like to, he'll be cracking on to the 30-year-olds, and they're like, oh, you Grandpa, get away, cheeky bugger, that kind of guy.
Grandpa. Okay, well, I can't argue against the fact that you might be called Grandpa by that stage, because my dad, who's 57 currently, is about to become a granny. A grandpa.
A grandpa, yes.
Yeah, G-pa.
He's about to have a grandchild and a sex change at the same time.
Yo, I can see that my child has been born. So I'm,
Is he a 57-year-old rapper with his SM58 microphone?
I just wanted an excuse to use the voice.
You
again.
did.
Didn't quite work.
Anyway,
Yeah.
What? But I can still do it in the podcast. You're quite right. I can't live my public life without a bit of good old, that's why I work with children. But in my private life, I will no longer do the sexual innuendo.
Do you lament this change that you're about to make?
I think I'm going to, but the thing is...
You can always change it when you turn 31.
Well, yeah.
Or tomorrow.
That's the good thing about like things like New Year's and stuff. It's like a do-over. But I just think if you've got... it's the same as like if you're like 40... and hanging out with the 20-year-olds. There comes a time when you've got to be really cool to be able to get away with it.
Yeah, that's me. I'm super cool.
But like, some people can get away with it and they're like, the mentors and the gurus of the group. But some of them is just, oh, and there's that guy.
Why is he still hanging around
exactly.
with us?
And
I think he's lonely.
He's saying words like rad and...
That's so ace, guys. Oh, cool. Hey, look, guys, I've got some discs here. I think they've got some games on them. I don't know if you've seen them.
Have you seen the compact disc phenomenon? Oh, compact discs.
I was going for like floppy discs, but
there you go.
But I like the hard variety as well.
I needed to get a mini DV tape for a camera. Like they're being phased out, obviously, but they're still a camera that was made in the last 5 years that would have mini DV tapes, right? So we were in Adelaide. We were trying to film a show that we were performing, and we travelled and we didn't have much. Like we didn't know the area, so we didn't know. Oh, there's a JB Hi-Fi there. So we just travelled to like the not supermarkets, but like the marts. So like the variations of 7-Elevens and stuff.
Quickie Mart.
We couldn't find a single mini DV tape, but I found in this day and age a big box of floppy disks that I could have bought.
What?
Yeah.
They just hadn't cleared
One
that stock.
place sold Super 8 tapes and another place sold floppy disks. This was Adelaide though, so that's the caveat. But
they're still catering to some of the shoppers.
That's it. That innocent looking 60-year-old.
That's
with the many floppy disks.
Hey, have you got any floppy disks?
Grandpa.
I'm after something floppy. Hey.
If you said that a year ago, I would have punched you. But now, have as many as you like.
Yeah.
60-year-old.
So now that you're really old,
yep.
Have you changed anything else about yourself, like the way you part your hair, or are there any other resolutions or thoughts, or like you're feeling super depressed or
no,
anything
it's
like
not
that?
nothing to do with that.
Do you want to talk about it? Oh, you didn't say anything.
Not really.
No.
I before I turned 30, in the last year, I've been enjoying life a bit more. But
now,
no. It still persists. Like
what age?
No.
Morbid thoughts.
It's a perspective shift. I've become more satisfied with my life lately.
Nothing to do with age, though.
It's kind of a little bit to do with age, but it's hard. Like when you're working in the arts, you're what's called, when you're first starting out,
homeless,
an emerging artist. You're emerging
out of that giant closet of art students.
Yeah. And you can spend 10 plus years as an emerging artist making no money and doing things like that. And I've been an emerging artist for about that time.
Right.
And I looked at myself.
Finally come out.
And it's hard work because you've got to keep
positive.
struggling on, and you've got to, oh my god, yes, maybe someday I'll be appreciated, my work will be discovered, and I looked at myself and I said, I'm getting paid to perform, and that's how I make almost all my money. And I might have told you this story, but I bumped into an old drama teacher of mine, and he's the type of guy that would. He'd say something that's just like minor for him, but because he was so influential, you'd go away, yeah, you're right. And like he would have forgotten it like 2 seconds later, but it just buries into your mind. And he'd been following our progress on Facebook, and he just said, you guys, you've made it. It's fantastic. And I kept maintaining, no, I'm getting there. No, you've made it. No. So maybe one day, and he almost got a bit frustrated, and he said, yeah, no, you've made it, and kind of walked off. And about 2 weeks later, I kind of woke up and, shit, I have. I'm working as a performer. I'm making my money. Fuck. That's amazing. I've made it. So,
Party time. Who wants cake?
Who wants cake? Yeah, so, I mean, and of course, there's still places I can go and, forward and onwards. But at the same time, I think I've become a little bit more focused in my old age about what I'm doing now, as opposed to wanting to be somewhere that I'm not.
Right.
And realizing that that's not the most terrible thing in the world. For now.
Oh, that's great.
It might change later. 31. when I start saying the sexual innuendo again, that's when I'll be like, shit, I wish I was a painter. Damn it. Better start practicing.
Yeah. I feel still in that place though. Like, still haven't quite got there. And I've sort of got some of those approaching 30 thoughts of, oh, shit. Now, okay, in my earlier 20s, I remember sitting around a table with some old people.
Oh, yes.
Who, if by your definition, is between 30 and 60.
No.
And you called yourself in my old age.
Oh, did I?
Damn. Yeah. And they were saying to me, oh, so Daniel, tell us. They'd had a bit to drink.
Is it one of those talks? What are you doing with your life?
These are people that I'm acquaintances
so
with.
what are you going to do when you finish doing all this rubbish you're doing now? Is it that kind of thing?
They're arts-ish people,
What's your backup plan, Daniel?
I've had so many of those typical conversations with my parents.
They're awful.
But this one was with people that I just knew through theatre. Mm-hmm. These older people asking me, so what's your 5-year plan? And I was sort of thinking, yeah. I'm 20.
Gonna be a rock star.
I'm 22. Like, 5-year plan.
There's time. There's time when you're past 30 to make plans.
Yeah. But then I found myself, I'm still 29.
You're still 29. You were 29 yesterday. Still 29 today.
Yeah. Thinking to myself, oh shit! Yeah, I probably should get round to a 5-year plan.
If only I did it 5 years ago too. I would have been there by now.
I would have been there. I would have at least known the road that I wanted to walk along and recognise it and go, oh yeah, it's all right. But no, so now's the time. Still young.
What have you started your planning?
Oh, I did. I went for a walk and I was gonna find a nice place to sit down and.
Phase 1.
I couldn't find rope long enough. Tried to use my shoelaces, but that was no good.
No,
suicide is not a humorous topic.
No, we advise everyone to
not kill themselves.
Beyond Lou, I guess.
Call Jeff Kennett, please.
Call Jeff Kennett and just have a chat.
Yeah. In fact, I was just listening to a podcast on the way
about Jeff Kennett
to the rape dungeon. What do we call this place?
The ghetto. The ghetto.
I get these confused
rape
with
dungeon
here in my house.
That's only at night time.
Rape is not something to be joked about.
And
please
it's also nothing to do in the daylight either.
Please call Jeff Kennett.
Yes.
If you found that disturbing, please beat him at Jeff's shed. For our non-Australian Victorian listeners, that won't make any sense.
Doesn't matter.
It's something he built when he was in power.
Nobody that we know.
I was listening to a podcast about a guy talking about his, I almost said bipedal issues, but no, I meant bipolar issues.
Ah, yes.
He's got the walking down fine. But I don't know why I shared that with you. But
Bipedal, I got it.
so my issues aren't quite that bad. I was just going to write a 5-year plan, but instead I ended up writing sort of a short story about a pink and purple elephant that was essentially telling me like what's fucked up
In the world?
in the world, in society.
What was the pink and purple
About me.
elephant's name?
Alfred?
Was it really, or did you just make that up then?
I just made that up because I couldn't remember. I'm not sure if we got to names.
So were you? Did you write this story in? Was it like a kid's story or?
No, it was more like self-advice. Yeah.
But with an elephant.
Yeah, it was the elephant in the room that
Brilliant.
people, I'll say people, and by people I mean myself, are avoiding.
Yeah, and the
You know?
elephant in the room is what to do with your life. Is that what you're saying?
Anything like that. Yeah.
Right.
Just
And what advice did Alfred give to you?
Alfred the pink and purple elephant.
Yeah. Did he splash you with water, by the way, with his trunk?
No, he did try to squeeze me and crack some ribs
Oh, that's good.
just as a bonding exercise, a trust exercise, they call them.
Did you ride him?
I rode him hard, but
he had like ears that flapped like Dumbo.
he was actually able to fly.
He was able to fly.
He was, yeah.
Well, did you write that down in your story, or did you just envision that in your?
No, he can fly.
I think this is a children's story.
That's
I think you
because
should
he can
write
soar.
this as a self-help book for kids.
Maybe it's like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah,
Because there's something for everybody there.
absolutely. And you're teaching kids the value of making plans.
And don't go on Facebook. That was part of what he
Was
had
that
to say.
Alfred's main concern?
Alfred was concerned that some people were, just like sourcing external pleasures.
Yeah.
Whilst
He wasn't
avoiding
anti-Semitic or anything. Just I hate Zuckerberg so much.
anti-Semitic.
I'm
Is
just
he
assuming
Jewish?
Zuckerberg is Jewish, but I could be wrong. Might just hate little nerdy Harvard grads. I don't know.
No, mind you, maybe he thought the Facebook IPO. He was angry about that because he expected to get rich off that.
But he bought into that and just couldn't get out. And
Yeah, he's like, everyone, get off it.
yeah.
Then it's going to tank, and then he's going to buy some more shares and hope it picks
so
up.
much. Yeah. Damn it. But they valued it right. You know, by the end of the day, it was the same as when they started. They valued
It's
it.
like going for a run and then ending up where you started.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're like, oh, well, at least I got some exercise
That's
along the way. Feeling good about that.
Yeah, this is really obscure now. Go back to your
Yes.
elephant.
It's like, we're actually going to start talking about stocks.
About the share market. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about anything, but a lot less about stocks. So I'm sitting, I found a nice little lookout, actually.
Was it
at
a nook?
public park. It wasn't a nook, it was a look.
Oh.
And I was looking, and it started raining. And I thought, oh, isn't this just like life? Actually, let me take you back to the start
It's
of
a
this
Forrest
walk.
Gump moment.
There was some very, I just want chocolate. There's some very... How are we going for time?
We got about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, guys. This is going to be a 4-minute story.
I want to hear your.
So,
I want to hear the whole thing though. So if it takes
I-
half an hour, then we'll
we'll
sleep
cut it down
over.
and set
sleep
it went
over
for
in the
half.
rape dungeon.
That's right.
Yeah,
Part two.
go.
Raping. I started off this walk with the intention of going and just figuring some shit out where I had no distractions of a computer.
Right.
And it was a very metaphorical walk because I set off, and in the distance there was a hill, and I was trekking through public forest, and up on this hill there's this water tower, and also I think there's a communications tower. And so I went down a little bit across the creek that was at the bottom of the valley, and started to make my way up to this tower. I wanted to get to the top because I wanted like a cool lookout to figure out my stuff in this Zen state that I was going to achieve.
So I'm thinking right now of like The Simpsons and that place on the cliff where you look out over the whole town. Was it that kind of
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And so there were some tracks that I was able to follow, right?
Mhm.
Paths that many had walked before me.
Oh, this is poetic.
And so
You're just reading from Alfred's book right now.
I should bring that book along though and read it on the show. And so I start off my track, And that's fine. And there's these worn paths, and that's easy. But as I got higher and higher, the paths started to get a little rockier, craggier.
As if people had given up on the road. And gone back.
It hadn't been worn as much by as many footsteps.
And you noticed a second pair of footsteps that were Jesus's.
And that was him going to get KFC because he was hungry.
And so chicken.
But there came some points where the track sort of ended, but I could see there was a road just up ahead, but what should be in front of me but a stack of blackberries. And I was wearing pants and other clothing as well.
So
just wanted to let you know that. No, but I didn't want to
wearing a nice pair of pants.
I was wearing strides. I didn't want to get any of my clothes torn up by these blackberries. So I sort of tried to find my way through these like little sort of paths I could see through the blackberries, and I was getting caught, and that was no good. I'm like, oh, I'm struggling here. I'm going to try another path. Went back down 3 tries later, and I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm just going to go along this path that's already clear. I just got to go down a bit.
The road more travelled.
I've got to go backtrack it, and go along this path, and then just go up to the bloody road and walk along.
Yeah, just
so eventually,
burn the blackberries. Yeah.
Following my soul's advice, I found this lovely lookout with this bench park. It ended up being freezing and raining, but I thought, I won't let the rain stop me.
It won't rain on your parade.
It won't. And so I started riding in my little book, and out popped this elephant from my mind's eye, and we danced. And I actually wrote so much of this little short story, it was rather angry, that I didn't even get to the 5-year plan bit. So, and then I went home.
So, what can we glean from this?
And then I went onto Facebook and saw what was happening.
And you talked about your elephant, and so you would. So I mean, rather than have a 5-year plan, you'd rather talk to elephants, but at least you're wearing pants, so that's good.
I did learn the importance of wearing pants, because if you ever find yourself in life walking through blackberries, you better as hell want to be wearing pants. That's
or else
true.
You send the elephant ahead to trample the blackberries, I guess.
I needed a real elephant.
Where was the fucking elephant then?
None of this metaphorical...
He was with Jesus getting KFC.
Life lesson learned.